Oh my gosh, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like it has been a whole year since I sat in my living room. I'm not on the couch, I'm on this chair because it's actually getting dark outside and I need lighting. Y'all are not about to play me with the lighting. I need lights, okay, honey? Hold on, my mama texted me. How are y'all? How are you? How have you been? Yeah, it's been a minute. I feel like since I put out a video, but I only missed 1 week because I was coming back from the Bahamas. And then the day after I got back from the Bahamas, I filmed with Revolt TV. I posted a picture on my Instagram. All the comedians who filmed with them are already telling you guys that it's for Funny AF with Revolt. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and let y'all know that it's Funny AF with Revolt. I don't really like to tell my business like that. Like, if something's coming, but it's not coming for like months, you don't tell people what's coming, do you? No shade to nobody else. I just personally would not have said anything, but maybe y'all didn't know, but y'all know now. Anyway, that happened, and I just really hadn't had time to do a video until now. And now there's just so much stuff has piled up, like so much stuff has piled. This weekend is also my husband's birthday. Happy birthday, babe. I love you so much. This whole weekend has been about my husband and his birthday. But on Wednesday, I had a friend in town, Shay Bell. She's actually on one of, I think, my very first vlog. So if you haven't seen that vlog, look up the one with Shay Bell, and I meet up with her and we talk comedy. So she was in town. On Tuesday, I filmed with Revolt. And on Monday, I got back from the Bahamas with my family on a wonderful family vacation. I really feel like the vacation was like the vacation of a lifetime, because to have your parents there, and then my grandmother, whose birthday was yesterday as well, she turned 84 or 85, I think 84. But just to have 20 plus cousins in the same place, and your grandmother who's in her 80s there enjoying life, and then both of your parents there, I just felt like it was such a blessing to be able to go to the Bahamas and spend that time with them and my cousins, and we had a good time. Everybody this year was talking about how Friendsgiving was way more popular and people enjoy Friendsgiving more than they do Thanksgiving, and I can definitely understand why, but my family has a lot of flaws. We're not a perfect family at all, but I think that if you're able to be honest with each other and really exchange energy with the people that you want to exchange energy with, and not so much with the people that you don't want to, you can have really successful Thanksgivings with your family or vacations with your family as well, right? It's just kind of like work. At work, you have people that you really kick it with, and when you don't like somebody at work, do you go up to them and make an effort? No, you just do your business and you keep it moving. It's the same with family. Like, if I don't really fool with you like that, I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing? Good? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go over here and talk to my cousins, and we might even go outside and for a break. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But you know what I mean, like, that's how it should be. If you have people in your family who did you wrong, that abused you in any way, verbally, physically, emotionally abused you, then you can tell them to kick rocks. And I kind of feel like in your family, your granny should be HR. Like, your granny should tell people, okay, you out the family. Bye. Is that bad? I know that's the kind of granny I'm gonna be. So if it ever comes down to it, I will make a video about the cruise and the pros and cons of going on the cruise and stuff like that. Why I will never go on another cruise, just because I have my own reasons. I enjoyed the vacation, but walking away from it, I'm glad I went on a cruise, but I'll never go on another one. But I do want to talk about the pros and cons of the cruise in general. I do have a vlog coming this Wednesday. It's a lot of video footage, so I think it might be a 2-part vlog. I don't know. A 2-part vlog is kind of annoying, right? But I don't know. Maybe I'll do a vlog this week, and then next week I'll talk about my pros and cons for the cruise. So this video is going to be all scattered, y'all. I'm just getting my whole life together. Okay, so one thing that I really wanted to talk about in regards to the cruise is, this is not going to be in my video around pros or cons for going on the cruise. This is completely separate because I was a little bit disturbed by some of the things I saw on the cruise, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so we went on a Carnival Sunrise cruise that left from the Bahamas, or left from Fort Lauderdale, went to Half Moon Cay, and then went to Nassau, Bahamas. And I think that there were some victims of sex trafficking on the cruise. Now, this is going to be like a very complicated and like difficult to explain situation. And I in no way want to make light of sex trafficking at all. Like, we all know, especially Black women, women of color, we're starting to talk about how sex trafficking is extremely serious, the things you should recognize. And I really also want to get the point across that if I felt like there was something that I could have done, I would have. But I felt like there was nothing that I could do. So I'm going to explain. So the first night that we get on the cruise, we are at the club. So the cruise has a Limelight Lounge, is what they call it, with a DJ every night. It starts from like 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. all the way until like past 2 in the morning. So it's a club on the ship. So the first night, it was Thursday night? And I decided to go with my mom. We went to the club. We just sat there. I had a cocktail. She might have had a glass of wine. And we were just watching people dance. So the dance floor was kind of empty. This is the first night of the cruise. There's so much happening, I understand. And I noticed that there are a couple people getting really, really like freaky on the dance floor, like too much. So there was a girl, I'm gonna name her Tasha. Tasha had curly hair and it was a weave. Okay, so Tasha was dancing with a guy and they were getting very sensual in their dancing, right? Do y'all on the cruise. I literally thought, oh, that's her boyfriend. They on a cruise. Do you? I'm gonna name the other person Taya. Taya had a short taper fade cut. She was light skinned, very cute girl, and she was literally twerking on everybody that would accept a twerk. Anybody and everybody. So Tasha with the curly hair and Taya, they're not related at all. Like, they're not hanging out with each other. But I noticed that Taya is twerking on mainly women. I assumed that she was a lesbian the first night because she's twerking on women and women only. She seems to be interested in women. And the short taper fade. I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to judge nobody, but you twerking on women and you got a taper fade, you only look like you interested in women? Cool. You like women? Fine. That's what I assumed. I also noticed that night that I was up like dancing a couple of times because when my song comes on, I'm gonna dance. But the dance floor wasn't crowded. So Taya with the taper was kind of making eye contact with me. You know, people try to fill you out and I'm not even gonna give you no eye contact. Like, that even shows you that I might remotely be interested in dancing with you because I'm not interested in dancing with you, Taya. At all. Like, I don't want to be twerked on. Not today. Like, I'm old and my mama here. So that's the first night. Things seem to be normal. The second night, though, more of my family members were there. There were more people in the club. More people. And I noticed Tasha's not there, but Taya is there with the short hair, right? And she's twerking on women again. Like, this girl, you would think that she has scoliosis because she's bent over the entire time. Twerking on every single person who will accept a twerk. If twerks were text messages, she would have texted everybody who was willing to get a text. Unlimited. And at this point, I'm thinking, wow, this girl really loves to have a good time. The next day, during the day, we go to karaoke. Remember Tasha with the curly hair? She was dancing with her boyfriend. This time, she's like in the corner making out with a totally different guy. They were in a group, guys and girls, young adults. And Tasha even got up and did karaoke twice that night, and she could really sing. Like, she's talented. She can sing. Like, she got a standing ovation. And then she went back to making out with the person she was making out with. But also keep in mind that her boyfriend, the first night that she was dancing on, was in the group. So they were all hanging out. It's like, oh, she was grinding and having sex on the dance floor with this guy, and now she's making out with this guy, and now they're all hanging out. Weird. And then Taya, completely separate, comes into the karaoke bar with her boyfriend. Never seen him because she's been twerking on women the whole time. Okay, she has a boyfriend? Oh, she's here with her boyfriend. Okay, interesting. I just think, okay, she just fast, and Taya is just on the cruise to have a good time. Third night, we go to the club. And keep in mind, we're going to the club every night because there's not that much to do when it gets late. So you either go to sleep, gamble, maybe, go out, dance. You know, I like to dance. So there's probably like 8 family members, including my mom and my dad. A few of my cousins are in the club at this point, and we're all dancing. You know, dancing, sitting down, dancing, sitting down. And we notice that Tasha and Taya happen to be in the club. But Taya, with the shortcut, is dancing on men, women. She's literally going nuts because this is like Saturday night. She's going nuts because this is like the busiest the club has been. And we notice that every time she gets up and dances, she's twerking. And then she goes and sits on her boyfriend's lap. And at one point, we noticed him like pushing her, like go and telling her, go back out there. And then me and my cousins are like, is this her pimp? Like, what's going on? Now it all starts to make sense on the third night of seeing her. Oh, you're twerking and you're bent over the entire time at the club. You're trying to take somebody like back to your room, or what's happening? I told my family, even hoes get tired. Like, you could be a thought and need a break. This girl never took a break. She wasn't drinking. She never paused and stopped twerking. She was all over everybody. She was literally trying to take somebody back to her room or something. It was very odd. Once I realized that, very odd. The other thing that was really odd is there was a guy, a grown man on the cruise who was special needs. You could tell that he had a disability, right? So she started twerking on this guy with special needs in the club. My dad noticed that she took him and sat him next to her boyfriend. The guy with special needs and her boyfriend were talking. And then the boyfriend ordered himself and the guy with special needs a beer. And my dad was like, oh man, is this guy gonna be drinking? Like, it's an adult black man. All these people in this scenario were black, by the way. That's why I say it should have been called Carnegro Cruise, because there were a lot of Negroes. But right before the beers came, security came into the club, not lying to you, and they were looking for the guy with special needs. And there was a woman there looking for him. I don't know if it was a family member, but she was like, that's him. And they pulled him out of the club, and then they left with him. So he wasn't supposed to be venturing out on his own or something like that. I don't know. It's just midnight, and there's not that much to do on the boat. Like, that was nothing but God pulling him out of that situation. Because who knows what they would have done. Were they about to rob him? Like, what were they about to do? He's on a cruise. I can't imagine he has any money or anything on him, because you use these cards to pay for everything. So I don't understand what they were thinking. But anyway, his family member comes, and the security person comes, and they take him out of the club. And when the beers come to the boyfriend's table, he's just like, oh, I only need one. He makes them send the other beer back because the guy got pulled out, so he didn't need 2 beers anymore. It was just so bizarre. Keep in mind, me and my family are sitting by the dance floor because we would get up and dance periodically. But I'm sitting right on the edge, and so Taya comes up to me, literally. She's like twerking and dancing and like literally makes eye contact with me and comes up to me. And I looked at her, I said, are you okay? She said, oh, I'm just trying to have a good time dancing, not lying to you. And I said, yeah, but are you okay? Like, are you okay? are you okay? And she's like, once I say it multiple times, she's like, am I okay? I was like, yeah, are you okay? Like, I'm looking at her so seriously and concerned. And she goes, like, her face and her mood changed. She goes, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. And then she went and sits in her pimp's lap and whispers something to him. And they look at me from across the room for like 5 minutes. It's kind of ridiculous because my mom and dad are in the club and like 5 or 6 of my cousins. And my cousins are not frail like me, okay? My cousins, girl, what you think you about to do? I'm in here deep. What do y'all think is really about to go down? Seriously. Nothing. Like, not us. Don't you know when you hang out with some people, like, and now what you about to do? I dare you. That's kind of how it was. It's like, girl, you're not about to do nothing. And I was looking at them like, me and my whole family was looking at them like, why are y'all looking over here? And they were literally looking like they really was going to do something to me. And my parents were like, okay, great. Now we got to go with you everywhere or the traffickers going to get you. Which is not funny, but it is kind of a little bit humorous. Because my dad was like, now you can't go nowhere by yourself on the cruise, on the ship. Yeah, so that's the moment I realized, okay, this girl's in trouble, but she actually don't know that she's in trouble. So on the way out, there was security on the way out of the club. I didn't see any security inside. So I stopped and I asked the security guard, I said, if I think that someone's a victim of sex trafficking on the boat, who would I tell? And she says, why, what happened? I said, well, nothing happened per se. Like, just where would I go? And she said, you go down to guest services and tell them. And I said, okay. She says, do you want to leave your room number and name? I said, no. And I walked off and went to sleep, The next day, me and my cousins were talking about it. And I saw the girl Taya on the boat with like older people and a kid at one point. Like, maybe she's here with her family. Maybe she is here with her family. That's her boyfriend and they like to have a good time. But it was very suspicious. Okay, so if you've ever been on a cruise, they're taking tons of pictures. One of my cousins was looking at the wall of pictures, and then the Taya and her boyfriend had happened to be behind her or like on the other side of this wall behind her looking at pictures. Or maybe they weren't looking, maybe they're just having a conversation. But my cousin eavesdropped on their conversation, and the girl said something similar to, oh, they're in my room right now. Like, they've been up there for like 20 minutes. Yeah, there's 2 of them or whatever. There's so many pieces to the story. It's hard for me to get off track. So bear with me. But on the last night, me and my cousins decided to go to the club. And we were literally all watching at this point. When I tell you, there were some hoes on the dance floor really trying to take some men home. And me and my cousins looked at each other and thought that, is everybody on this boat a prostitute, or is everybody in it except for us? It was just weird. We started to connect the dots to figure out, oh, they're actually together. Oh, Taya and Tasha are together. They're communicating with each other. Do we think they made friends here on the boat, or did they know each other already? And then, there were some other girls who were with the guys that Tasha was kissing at the karaoke table. Those girls were on the floor, twerking, grinding. There were big guys, heavier guys who you could tell, probably don't get a lot of play on the dance floor. And those girls were just, having sex on the dance floor with them. We saw girls make out with guys from this group, and then they would disappear and be gone into the hotel. I'm like, do the guys know that these girls are prostitutes? Aren't these girls prostitutes? It was just the weirdest thing. And I kind of felt like there was nobody to tell or like nobody watching. Like I actually have no proof. We have no rock solid proof that any of those girls were victims of sex trafficking, prostitutes. We have no solid proof, but I just know something was not right. Yeah, my camera cut off. I want to say the main reason why I wanted to make this video and tell this story is because I saw them on the dance floor dancing with women. And when a woman comes up and dances with another woman, we tend to be more open to it. We're like loose, you know. I saw girls who were drunk on the dance floor and girls who weren't drunk on the dance floor. And the way that they sort of boosted you. You know what I mean? Like they were hyping this girl up. She was wasted. They're hyping her up. She's dancing on men and women. She's on the dance floor, like humping the floor and doing all of that. Like it's cool to have a good time, but we have to become more aware of our intuition and like why people are approaching us. Are they approaching us because they want to have a good time, or is this unrealistic? Because if you had just went in and watched the club, you'd be like, oh my God, they are really letting it loose in here. You would have had to have gone every night to notice that this is odd. Because if you just went for one night, you thought, oh, they was lit in there. They were really doing a lot. And that would be it, right? But a lot of women I know like to travel alone, talk about traveling alone. It's cool to travel alone, but just know not everybody has good intentions. It could be male, it can be female. So that is the main reason why I wanted to do this video. Just know, like a cruise is a perfect place to be lured into sex trafficking because there's nobody's around. It's a hostage situation. There are people there trying to make friends. Like it's a fun environment. They're saying what happens on the cruise stays on the cruise and stuff like that. You have to be so aware of your intuition because especially in women, that works for us every time. If something doesn't feel right, if it feels too good to be true, if it feels like we're having too much fun, you probably are, especially with strangers. So I hope that this entire situation ends up helping somebody. I did make light of it a few times because there were like ridiculous moments about it to where me and even my family members looked at each other and was like, this cannot be. Y'all really think that these women want y'all? Like some of the people that they were dancing with on the dance floor and stuff like that, like they were convincing. But just know that men, women, they can all be caught up into getting you to do something that you're not even aware of, manipulating you into a particular situation. So I just want people to be aware, especially going on cruises going forward, because I have no proof that these women were victims of sex trafficking. I just know that something was not right. Like, I just know it. If a police officer would tell me what made you think that, I would have to tell them this whole story, and they might look at me crazy and think that she's just having a good time, but I just know something wasn't right. And I felt like the girl, Taya, she would probably, if I had gone further to say, y'all should just look into why they're here, which is a weird question to ask security or police, she probably wouldn't have even admitted that they were doing anything like out of the ordinary. So they're just having a good time, right? Anyway, I hope that this helps somebody. I don't know if it will, you know. I want to see your comments below. I want to like reply to your comments below because I know that this story may not make a lot of sense. I tried to explain it as clearly as I possibly could, so thank you for watching. Yeah, so if you are interested in more content and things I come across every day, or if you want to follow my journey since I quit my job to do comedy full-time back in August, please subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click. I'm gonna wait. Thank you. If you want more of me, you can follow me on Instagram at JAZMYNJW, and I will see y'all on Wednesday with my vlog while I was on the cruise. So you get to see the Bahamas, you get to see the cruise ship, and that vlog is gonna take me like the next 2 days to edit. So y'all better watch it. You better. Thanks for watching. Bye.